Had a great weekend. I know I did. I want to talk today about one of the most awesome things one of the most awesome gifts that God has given us. But sometimes it's underdeveloped. And I want to talk today about the awesome power of your imagination. Sometimes I'll talk with people who have goals in mind. They've got things that they want to accomplish, things that are important to them. But you know what they'll say? Sometimes they'll say, I just can't see myself ever being financially secure. Or I just can't see myself finishing college. Or I can't see myself being a black belt. And if I were less than kind, I think what I would say to them is, well, guess what? You probably won't have to worry about it, because if you can't see it, it's not going to happen. To really achieve a goal, you've got to be able to visualize it in your mind's eye. But not just that. You see, your imagination has this creative power to cause things to happen. I've always been a fan of purposeful daydreaming. I've taken goals that at the time seemed incredibly difficult to accomplish. Things that just seemed so far off, it seemed almost impossible to believe that they were going to happen. But guess what I did? I devoted myself to believing it before they happened. And in fact, I trained my mind to release this power of imagination so that I would see myself as having already achieved what it was that I was after. I remember when Renee and I built our dream home about 10 years ago. I had spent so much time before the building of that home actually living in the home in my mind, being able to picture the house, being able to see myself walking through it. I had that house built in my mind long before we ever built it in the natural realm. So I encourage you to develop this as a skill. It's not mindless daydreaming, but it is daydreaming. It's daydreaming with a purpose. One of my favorite quotes, I've got no idea where this comes from, but it's a little thing that I've always had on my desk. It says, to dream with our eyes open. And I've always taken that to me it's always meant that we need to daydream purposefully. Now sometimes I'll talk with people and they'll say, I just don't see why this is significant, or I just don't see how I can develop my mind to have this skill. Well, I always caution them by saying, guess what? You've already got this skill. And they'll say, what do you mean, sir? And I'll say, well, every time you worry, every time you sit there and let fear get a hold of you, anytime your mind starts to run away with worrisome thoughts, guess what? You're doing exactly the same kind of thing that I'm talking about. The power of your imagination is at work. Only in that case, it's using it to pull something towards you that you're trying to avoid. So really all I'm talking about today is taking that power of imagination that God gave us, that you're already accustomed to using in the negative, and disciplining your mind to daydream purposefully and to use it to pull toward you the things that are most important to you. Have an awesome week.